Welcome everybody to another edition of TalkingWithHeroes.com talk show program. I am Bob Calvert, your host, and I want to welcome you back to Afghanistan, to Forward Operating Base Wright. And in a few minutes we're going to be talking to Sergeant First Class Christina LeMond. But real quick, before we get started, I want to thank our sponsors again for making this trip possible. Rob Brazell with ReturnToWork.org, BlackHawk.com, FreedomHunters.org, NewsBlaze.com, Number5Jump.com, Sportsman's Warehouse in Colorado Springs, Sportsman'sWarehouse.com, Eric G. in Olathe, Kansas, Colin Clark in Elizabeth, Colorado, Debbie with MilitaryConnection.com, SoldiersAngels.org, and Chief Warrant Officer Retired Dennis McCormack. So what I'd like to do now is welcome to Talking with Heroes Sergeant First Class Christina LeMond. She is a Civil Military Operations Center.
Yes.
Okay, the NCOIC here at FOB Wright. So we welcome you to Talking with Heroes.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you could start out by telling our listeners a little bit about yourself and how long you've served. Maybe if you've been on other deployments, talk a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, I started out in 1985. I joined the military. And then since I've done several different types of operations. I've been a drill sergeant. I was stationed in Iraq, and civil affairs is something that I stumbled onto because I have a base, or I have a general knowledge of international law and international relations, and just thought I would like to really get involved in that. So I came across civil affairs, which is wonderful for that.
What unit do you serve with?
I serve with 404th Civil Affairs Battalion, and that's out of Fort Dix, New Jersey, which is my home state also.
Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Yes, sir.
I'm from New York originally. Okay, and so you've been at other deployments then. You were in Iraq, you said?
I was in Mosul, Iraq, in OIF-2.
OIF-2?
So that was 03, 04.
Okay. My son-in-law was over there, 07 and 08, Fort Carson. Pretty rough when they were over there too. I'm sure it was when you were there too.
Yes, it was.
Okay. How long have you been over here now?
I've been here since February, well, the end of February, so I guess we're going on, what, 4 months now? 3 months? I'm losing track of time.
I don't know how you all do it. I always tell people this. I'm over here short periods of times. I lose track of time zones, days, all that kind of stuff. Talk about what it was like when you got here from your perspective as a civil affairs officer in terms of progress. Talk about some projects also.
Oh, okay. When we first arrived, we met up with the civil affairs team that was here before, and just started to pick up and try to finish off some projects that they had already started. And, you know, generally go and meet. We're at the provincial level, so I'm sure you've explained that already. But we're dealing with the government and trying to help them establish and legitimize their government so that they can start working. And we're at the provincial level. So what we do is we try to liaison, basically just try to show them the different ways of doing it. And right now we're working on budgets and how that they start to use their money and budget and pick the projects that they want to work on. So we help them prioritize and, you know, make sure that they get all the little things that they need to get covered under their budget, so that when they do request for when they do their budget for next year, that they encompass a lot of things that the previous year they weren't able to do. We also have a female engagement team, which is something I'm very proud of. And we also work with Bob Joyce on that for the areas of Kunar and the district. So we're trying to really get that up and moving, and it seems to be going well. They have a new female Women's Affairs Director. She's wonderful, and she's very excited about doing things. So what we do is we go out and try to discuss different things to help economically for the women, because their religion and their customs don't allow them to really come out and work, but they can do different things from their homes. And so we have a couple projects that are on board. We have it's called a poultry program that we're working right now to try to get up and running. And they also have this, I can't even pronounce the name of the cheese, forgive me, but there's this, it's like a gourmet cheese that's being made, and it's only made by women, and it's very fascinating. I can't wait to get into that one. And then we also have girls' schools that we deal with, and we go in, we talk to the little girls, and there's also a program, and we are really interested in making sure that this goes Afghan-wide, not just in Kunar, with my other PRT counterparts in CA, but it's almost like a backpack for Baghdad program. We're going to have one over here in Afghanistan, and we're also trying to have the little girls from United States write to the little girls in Afghanistan, and they go back and forth, because the little girls in Afghanistan, they're learning English and they're very interested in what's going on over there.
How can people back home help? You said backpacks. I know people back home come to, get involved with stuff like this.
Right. They can actually, there's organizations all over the place for backpacks, for school supplies for kids, and really, they really need shoes. I mean, it's incredible the way that they manage to get around this terrain. It's rocks. I mean, my boots don't even cover how they walk around, and you see little girls and little boys running around with no shoes on and still able to get around, but shoes is very important, along with school supplies and different things like that. And there's, I believe the one that's from Baghdad, Backpacks for Baghdad, I think they were out of Berkeley. But that's because we have different members who have family members that are doing different things overseas also. So, but if they want, they can, if they could get in touch with you or get in touch with Kunar PRT, and we can set it up. It's that easy.
Could you email me your APO address?
I sure
put a
can.
little bit about this in there, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of support groups watching this.
Yes, absolutely.
And I know they want to help. One, I know Soldiers Angels told me that to get APO addresses, they want to make sure everybody's taken care of here. But I know people want to help with the community too.
Oh yes, and they're in desperate need of a lot of things, just general things. But shoes, you'd be surprised. The little Crocs, I mean, those things are extraordinary for them. They can slip them on and slip them off, and they're still good with the terrain around here. So I mean, we have great response for the kids, getting the shoes. And I'm also involved with the vet caps, which happen with the agricultural department. They're out of California right now, and we go and we make sure that we, help them with their HA, which is humanitarian assistance. So we give out shoes and talk to the little kids and find out how everything is going, and how they feel about what's going on with them. And everybody's pretty happy. We've got a lot of school projects that have been developed, and we have schools that are being built and roads that are being built, so that when it comes to economics, they're able to transport on the roads and get their products to where they need to be faster, and so they don't have to really go outside their community to buy. They can bring the money back into the community.
That's great. I appreciate you sharing all this. Talk about the troops that work with you. And you probably have civilians work with you too, right?
Yes, we do.
Talk about the job they're doing.
Well, we work with Department of State.
Okay.
We work with USAID, and we also work with Department of Agriculture, and they're wonderful. They have their own setup as far as their priorities and how they assist the government. But we're more on I would say we're more on a level of overseeing the districts, our civil affairs team. Although we do a lot in Asadabad, because Asadabad is basically where we're in charge of. But we have CAT teams, which are civil affairs teams, small teams that are in the districts in Kunar, and those are the areas that really need the help, because they're so far away from Asadabad and very hard to get to a lot of times. And so we just try to make sure that their district centers, which is their district government, I would say like the mayor of that district, if you want to compare, they have a lot of needs down there too, as far as social projects and helping their persons that cannot work, or their disabilities programs that they have, or I mean, there's so many different things that they're trying to get implemented right now to help out just the districts. And it's hard to get out there, but we're making a lot of progress, especially with the roads and the schools that are being built and the teachers that are coming, and it's wonderful.
Well, I'll be back later this year, and I'm hoping I can actually on the next trip go out and film these projects.
That would be great.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of good stuff. Do you know Dante Paradiso with the State Department?
No, I don't.
I interviewed him a couple days ago, and he kind of talked about all this, some of what you're talking about.
Right.
So I don't know if you were connected or not. Well, this is great. I really appreciate you sharing this, because these are things most people back in America are just not hearing a lot about.
Right. Yeah, we know it's our small little, you know, it's small in the way that we approach it, because for us it's like an everyday thing to go out and try to help people and you know, figure out what the problems is and try to help them improve on it. But not only that, but to give it to them and let them run it, and then allow us to just, you know, here or there just make comments or try to help them better work through some of the problems. So it's all government. It's not, you know, it's not us anymore, which is, this is what we're trying to work ourselves out of a job. So
exactly.
That's
this is
what
good
we're
for
doing.
America to hear that, because we're not going to be here forever.
No.
I mean, you're training, you're helping them, you're engaging them for them to run their own country.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And it's wonderful. It's a good feeling too.
Yeah. You're doing a great job.
Yes. Thank you.
Talk about care packages and letters from home. Are you getting a lot of them here? Or?
We are getting a lot of care packages, and we want to thank everybody, because it is like the brightest spot of the day is when, or the week, when we get mail. And when the mail comes in with all these, it's like Christmas every time. You know, you're looking through these care packages, like, oh look, this is nice, you know, somebody sent me this or something. It means a lot, an awful lot to us. And please don't forget, keep sending them. Our troops are very appreciative. We have a lot of young troops out here, and you know, sometimes you may not get mail, but when a care package comes in, that means everybody gets mail, you know. Yep. So we really appreciate it.
And this is one of the remote FOBs we've been hearing a lot about, where you don't really have a PX.
No.
So the care package is in some ways, many ways, substitute. But it's free too.
And it's wonderful, because a lot of the things that we do need on a daily basis, including, I mean, as far as being a woman, we appreciate when the women packages come through. It's very good, because like I said, sometimes mail is slow, sometimes it doesn't come. And you know, as we all know, we need washing things to wash with, and it's good when the females get a little package just for us, because you know, we're like, oh good.
Absolutely.
Something that smells nice.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with America? Continuing to support you, or anything else you want to share? Any other stories?
Look, I'm probably the proudest person. I know everybody says that, to be an American. I mean, when you're out here and you see the different things that America has touched, and with the support of the American people, I mean, we could not do anything. We just wouldn't have that. And we just say, don't forget us. You know, we're working hard to get out of here. So, you know, keep praying for peace, and everything should be fine.
Great. Would you like to look at the camera and say hi to some family and friends back home, or just take your time?
Well, I would call this a shout out, I guess, right?
Yeah, sure.
I want to say hello to my son, Mark Allen LeMond. He's 21 years old, and he's going through college, and we're trying to keep him on that straight and narrow, but he's doing a great job. I want to say I love you very much, baby boy. And my mother, who is the rock of everything, I want to say thank you, Mommy. Her name is Peggy Norris, and she lives in Haddon Heights, New Jersey. And she's an angel, just an angel on earth. And I appreciate her, and my grandmother, and my friends, and my family. And I am from New Jersey, so everybody, I want to say hi and thank you for all your support. And I'll be home soon.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it on such short notice, you sharing these stories with everybody who's watching.
Thanks for coming over.
Thank you. Thank you for your service to our country.
Thanks.
Thank you. Once again, folks, Sergeant First Class Christina LeMond at FOB Wright. And wouldn't want to close the program without bringing up my slogan again. Watch and share. You've watched another video. Please keep sharing these videos. Let's get these videos out so that starters, 1 million people get to watch these videos. And finally, we're getting the progress back to all of America. Change the conversation across the country and help build up the support for these men and women over here and the families back home. So I want to thank you again for watching and sharing. I am Bob Calvert, your host, reporting from FOB Wright in Afghanistan on TalkingWithHeroes.com.